Yeah, hello everyone. Everyone, no, I mean, mm, the 5 or 10 people who are seeing this video. I mean, today we'll hop on to the next post from my page, which is on parallel photography. And this is from another shoot I did with a model. I think at the same location, but at a bit of a different spot. Yes, this was also at, I'm sorry, Edmonds Station. And once again, I'm sorry if there is any background noise, but I hope there is no background noise. And yeah, this is a nice picture. I like this picture because of the sun. I mean the light flare at the corner and the detail is pretty good. So let's start editing this picture. Yeah. So let's go to the exposure thing first, and let's see if we need to adjust it. Not much because there is already enough light in the image. We need not meddle up with it a lot, but pulling it up by a bit by 0.17 is good enough, I think. The contrast, I don't I don't think so contrast is of any use. No, let the contrast be at 0. Let's come to the highlights. I think, yeah, let's bring the highlights a bit low to bring that natural look on the face, because this at this point, if we are pulling it up, the face is getting overlit. And let's keep it a bit low. We'll adjust the face later when adjusting the whites, or when we are putting up any adjustment layer. Yeah, so let the highlights be in the negative section, I think. It's looking nice. Shadows. Hmm. Okay. I'm sorry. In shadows, let's see. Let's pull down the shadows by a bit so that the things which just got blown up. I mean the corners on the right section and the left which just got overlit because of the sun in the image. So that will look a bit good if we are pulling down the highlights. Minus 24 is fair enough. I know it's even pulling off light from the entire image, but it's not that big a deal. We can adjust it later. Sorry if you hear some songs in the background. It's my neighbors. I'm really very sorry. Yeah. By the way, it's nice background music though. I need not edit it because I don't know how to edit it properly. So let it be there. Let's go to the shadows. I think we adjusted the shadows, right? They can go a bit low. Yeah, it gives a nice look to the image. Let's go to the whites. Whites should also be pulled down by a bit, I think. But let me guess. Oh, I'm sorry. The whites, they can be up. I think this much is okay. Plus 15 is good, I think. Yeah, plus 15 is, plus 20 is too much. Plus 14, and let it be at plus 14. Oh, I'm sorry. Now let's deal with the blacks. The blacks, particularly, I don't think so. Blacks are much important. I mean, we should not pull the blacks up. Instead, we should pull them down to bring some good depth to the background. It increases the contrast for the entire image, which gives it more depth. That's important, because this was a flat image when captured. It had somewhat a light, I mean, even light in the image. But now, since we are bringing up the dark spaces in the background and the bright spaces in the foreground, I mean, on the model, so it gives a sense of depth. Sorry, I just posted one picture and there are notifications popping in. I am so sorry. Yeah, pulling down the blacks will do good, but not much. When you're pulling it too much, it's even bringing every color down to high contrast. So it's not looking natural. You can just keep it close to 0, somewhere close to 0, not that low, But minus 13 or minus 10 would do, I think. Minus 10 is minus 12 is looking good. Yeah, let it be minus 12, because later we can adjust every color individually and we can adjust the saturation, the contrast for them in the adjustment layers. So let this be here. Now I forgot to do this in the first step, but you should enable the lens correction. It does decreases the vignette on the corners, which is caused due to due to the lens. Yeah, sometimes because you zoom in sometimes and these things occur due to optical issues of the lens. I'm not getting the exact word even this time. It's, I think, diffusion. I think it's diffusion of light which causes these things. In different lighting conditions, when you zoom in or zoom out, sometimes this happens. So enable this, it corrects the mistakes or the errors caused by the lens on the corners, and it corrects it. That's it. This is remove CA, that's chromatic aberration. I don't think so there is much CA in this. Still we will enable this anyways. Let's come down to details. We have to zoom into her face a bit to see if the details are bringing up any blemishes. It should not bring up any blemish. It just should, bring up the details which are not there as sharp as we need it. Them, I'm sorry. So little bit of it, not much. Let's keep it pinned to like 47, I think. 47 is good. You can increase the radius of the sharpness. You can increase it by a bit, same, not much, because that will spoil the face, which is the most important part in model photography. If this face is not looking good, there's no point of doing model photography. So keep the face intact. You should focus on the face, it should look good. So there is noise on the face because my camera is just a Sony Alpha 6000. It's not that high tech a camera. I have to zoom in sometimes to the to the longest extent. So it does happen sometimes. I'll upgrade. I don't know when, but I will. Let's increase the noise reduction by a bit so that the face looks a bit smooth. I know some of you might be thinking that I should use the patch tool or some other tool, the blemish fixing tool, but right now I just cannot use it that perfectly because first of all I'm not that used to this. Second, I don't have a pencil or a stylus, whatever you say it, to do it accurately. I think so it's important. Can increase the noise reduction to 21. The face is looking decent, it's looking decent. Let's decrease the sharpness to 45, I suppose. 44 is good. Yeah, it's good. It's looking nice. Because too much of a softer face will also look like it has been, the makeup has been polished up in the post production beyond the line. So it looks unrealistic, kind of unrealistic. Need not disturb the contrast part and the noise reduction. Details are, it's good, I think. The details are pretty good. Yeah, they are decent, Any professional out there maybe watching my video will be like, that's not good. This is a stupid detail image, but for me it's good. Need not touch the effects because we don't need any effects. Let's go to the colors, which is the important part. I don't know why the songs in the background have stopped all of a sudden, but it's okay, no problem. I want to give this a kind of, a brownish look to the image of these series. I'll be uploading 3 images on my page. Since this has been captured entirely in the woods, so we will increase the temperature instead of decreasing it. So let's take it bit higher, not that higher, but bit higher, so that we can keep the color of her dress and the shawl. I call it a shawl. Also, it should be pink. It should not just turn it into purple, something like that. So let's keep it somewhere. Close to 6167K. The face also should not turn yellowish, which is very important. Should not turn yellowish. But for that, we have this tint where we can just drag it to purple so that the face can turn back to its own, that reddish pink kind of. That shade could be brought up. if it is little bit affected by the temperature settings. But I think I'll drag down the temperature. It's not looking that good. We will adjust it later when we will be working on the green color specifically. Yeah, this is okay. Vibrance, little bit, looks good. Plus 17, yeah, decent. Saturation, not that much. I would like to keep it at 0 for now. I will adjust it. I think we should adjust, like, saturation is good for a quick edit, it's really good. But when we are doing something in detail, so you should go by each color to adjust the saturation and luminance of every color in this section, I guess. Yeah, so this is saturation for red, and this is specifically applying to the face and the shawl, as you can see. Now we can keep the shade of the background and the face different. See the hue where you want to keep it, not yellowish, it will look odd. Let's zoom into her face. I think this is looking good, natural, kind of. This is good. Let's increase the saturation by a bit. Let's increase the luminance also, so that there is a glow on the face. Plus 17 looks good. Yeah, I think this looks good. It is taking away the extreme reddish look on the face, which was there in my previous image, I guess, and it is giving her a quite natural look also. Background also looks nice for now, and I hope it will look better. Now let's work on the yellow part. Let's see how the yellow things turn out to be. Her face is also having yellow. I don't think so. I'll go to green now. I want to turn the green hue into brown, I guess, if I possibly can. Let's increase the saturation. It's not bringing that big a change, but yes, it's looking nice. Let's increase the luminance. You can see there is a lot of light in the background. No doubt there is a lot of light in the background. So if you decrease the luminance, it is affecting a very small area. Still, it's affecting a very small area. But never mind. We ain't getting the effect we really want to get. But it's okay. It's absolutely fine. I don't know why it is not affecting the leaves down here. Just don't know why. Maybe they are in the blue section. No, it is affecting. Yeah. Let's go to the blue section. It will affect her dress, I guess. No, it isn't, because it's sky blue. I'll leave it anywhere. Yes, this is affecting her dress. Now it's up to us what kind of color we want to keep. I think we should keep it as it is. Somewhere close to -5, it looks good. Because the actual color is a bit dull. So let's keep it close to -5. This color looks really pretty. And we want to increase the saturation. We can increase it by +2. It looks good. +2 or +3, not more than +5. Because then it will not look that good. I suppose it will not look that good. The +2 is pretty good. You can increase the luminance by a bit just to highlight the details a bit, because it is quite dark. Her dress is quite dark. You can bring up the luminance by a bit. Yeah, this looks pretty. Yeah, that's it. Let's go to the purple section, which is her shawl, I believe. We can increase the hue, because it is already purple. It will look even more purple then. Let's not increase the saturation, because purple, there is a bit of purple in the road, in her shawl, in her entire dress, and in her face also. So you can see it is affecting that entire area, and it is not making it look good. Even her hair is having a patch of purple. You can see that. I don't know why it is having that, but it is having that. It is what it is. Oh, it's okay. We won't play off with the saturation, I think, but the hue did a good job. It brought up the purple. Wait, man, the dress is also turning purple. This is what I don't like. I want the dress to be blue. Let's go to the pink section if it can help. Wait a second. I think it is working. I think it's working. Increasing the luminance is also, we can say, somewhat close to increasing the, I mean, decreasing the luminance can help you bring up, I mean, some details from the blown up parts. You can use this thing. And as I cannot increase the saturation because it is affecting other parts, so I decrease the luminance by a bit so that this thing looks bit detailed. The shawl on her, I mean, shoulder looks good because here it was too flat. Now it's looking like it's, the depth has come up. Increase the saturation by a bit, not by much, but by a bit, so that it is bringing up the shawl's color, not affecting the dress, neither her hair nor the road in the background. Let's keep it at plus 10, I suppose. I just thought I won't keep this video too long, but I'll edit it really quick, but no, it is taking up a lot of time. Let's keep the hue on plus 5. Plus 3 is good. Plus 5 is affecting the hair. Yes, this is looking nice. Let's go to the pink section. Let's see how it is affecting. It's just affecting the forehead by a bit, you can see. It's affecting the forehead. Let's increase it because when it is low, there is kind of white patch on the forehead. When it is increased, that patch is getting filled up, which is looking good. But then there comes small traces of pink on in her hair also, but that doesn't matter. That is very less. So it's looking pretty good overall, I suppose. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Let's check how it was before. This was the original image, and this is once we have done with the Lightroom settings. Now I think we should import it as layers into Photoshop. Let me have something. Ah, nice. Coke is nice. So we are into Photoshop now. That's nice. Let's add some layers, adjustment layers. Okay, brightness, contrast. What should we go first with? I think first we should go with color balance, which I think is important because color balance being adjusted after the brightness and after the color levels and curves, I think it's kind of hard to do it because this thing should be in the first place. I think so. You can do it your way. It's up to you. I'm not teaching anything, and I'm just sharing that what I am doing because I have no other special thing to put up on YouTube. But I really wanted to open up a channel, so I'm just sharing what I do. I'm not teaching. I may be wrong in anything. You can just comment it down, dude. No problem. We need to. No, we cannot increase it. It's giving a red look. We can pull it towards the blue side. -7 is too much of blue. -5, -4, -3. 0 is still having a red tint, you can see now. But when we are pulling it off to -7, -6, I think -4 is still having a red tint. But -4 is looking quite decent. It's looking quite decent. It will be a -4. Let's go for the magenta and green adjustments. No, magenta is not looking good. Let's pull it off to the green side by a bit. 7 is excessive. 4 is still excessive. 2 is, I also think 2 is also excessive. 0, 1, no, yeah, 2 is good. 2 is good, yes. I don't want to pull it off to the blue side here. Let's pull it bit to yellow. Bit of it to yellow. Yeah, -2 is looking nice. Fine, it's looking good. Let's add another adjustment layer which should be for hue and saturation, because I want to adjust, I mean the greens. It's important. I want the greens to be, I mean, to change the hue to brown. That's what I believe. No, I have to delete this. No problem. Let's see which adjustment layer can help us. Hue and saturation didn't help us, dude. Let's go to vibrance. Maybe vibrance can. I think I have to keep it in the the green and blue space also only, because the it isn't coming up. The brown isn't coming up. So I think this color theme is looking nice. Pulling up the vibrance by a bit, just for it to look realistic. You know, the good thing in this is this: vibrance doesn't pull up all the colors. It's just pulling up the colors which it thinks is not intense enough. So this is bringing up good colors in the trees in the background. Even on her face, if there are some patches of her face which are not having enough color, so it's just pulling up that thing. And some parts of her dress and the road in the background. So vibrance at 40 looks decent. Yeah, I think it looks decent. Let's see what saturation does. Saturation is pulling it off a lot. I think I can decrease the vibrance. Is there any color which is oversaturated? No. You can pull off the vibrance only to 10 and increase the saturation. This is just an experiment. Let's see what happens. Pulling off these things too high and pulling down the vibrance, not a good idea at all. At all. Not at all a good idea. Okay, sure. Increase the, it's 22, 23. How about 25? How's it looking? Is it looking good? I think so. It's looking pretty good. I don't find the colors to look bad, that the colors are not looking good. The colors are looking pretty good. Let's see. But kind of oversaturated. Bit of it is oversaturated. So let's pull this oversaturation down to 10. This is looking quite decent. No, 15. 16 is good. Let's add the brightness and contrast thing and increase the brightness by 1, because beyond 1 it was blowing off the details of the face. It was moving it from being a pinkish face to a whitish face. Doesn't look nice. Let's increase the contrast by a bit. Not much. This is it. And we can increase it to 3, 4, 5. No, not 5. Not 5. 2. 2 is enough. Because we have adjusted the blacks and the whites properly in the Lightroom thing. I don't think so we need contrast anymore. We can in fact move down contrast. But I don't think so we need to do that. Let's keep contrast at 0. It's quite good at 0. New adjustment. Is color balance done? Yeah, color balance is done. Now we can pull up exposure for now. Yes, this is important. This is pretty important. This helps us. The best thing for this part of exposure and Photoshop section is that it helps us, adjust the offset and the gamma separately. I mean that's good. Otherwise exposure just affects the entire image. Now you can see we are dealing with the shadows and the highlights differently. And this is breaking up details in the background so properly. See how it is increasing the depth of the image. This is looking so good. Let's go to the gamma section and pull back the gamma section by a bit so that it can balance the offsets. Pull back here, pull back. Bit confusing. Let's go to the exposure first. I think the exposure was at the perfect point. 0 is good. And let's it is bit confusing. I know this is bit confusing. For me it is confusing. Sorry. For me this is bit confusing. This is good for the offsets. The lower sections of the dress are becoming really dark because of the offset settings. But I think I'm gonna crop it off. She's bright enough, the background is bright enough. It's looking good. There's no doubt it's looking bad, it's looking really good. But now I think we have to decrease the saturation by a bit because this picture is looking bit of oversaturated. So now we will go to the levels, use the white section to adjust some more settings to see if we can just adjust some more of this. This is the blacks, the whites, and the gray section which you see on the graph. The graph is a complete different thing to study about. I have studied them in not in much detail, but it's an interesting space to study. See, now we can adjust the white space of the image, which is on the extreme right of the graph. This is looking good. Yeah, quite good. This is the gray space, which is in the middle. You need to be precise with this. And the graph which you see, which is built in this, which is goes like a hill, it shows the amount of pixels. I believe this shows the amount of pixels in different areas, in the gray areas, in the black areas, and in the white areas of the image, like the amount of pixels which are there. So this image is having a lot of them in the black areas, I think. Good amount of them in the gray areas as well. Yeah, this is looking really nice. Let's adjust the red space by a bit. I don't think so we should disturb the red space any further. I think we should only use the white thing. No, we need not disturb the red thing. Let's go to the green section. Yeah, pull it. We can pull it to the left by a bit. This is keeping a good balance of the red color on her face and on her dress and the entire body, and even keeping a good balance of the green color in the background. This is how, you know, curves and like levels can help you. Curves are a different thing, I'm sorry. How levels can help you out. Now the left side is good. Here by a bit we can just pull out of by a very little bit. That's it. That's it for this. Let's go to the blue. Okay. This is giving a green layer kind of thing to the entire image, which is looking good to some extent, but not to a very high extent. You know, this is fine, I guess. Yes, this is fine. No, the right side need not be touched, I think. Now we should put in brightness and contrast. I think I have to pull up the brightness by 1. Not -1, dude. 1. Or -1. What do you guys think? 1? Should it go to -1? 1 or -1? No, -1 is making her face bit dark, which is not looking good, I think. 4 is too much of light on her face. 2 is good. Yeah, well, so I think we are done for this image. It's looking pretty nice. It's looking pretty nice. And the most important thing which I forgot is the recomposition. I'm so sorry. I just forgot. And I just couldn't figure out a way to bring some light in the lower end of the image near the end of her dress. But never mind, we will do it in the next image. Let's crop it down. I have made kind of rule for these side shots or the other shots that I keep the first line on the eyes. I mean the first horizontal line. I think it is the horizontal one. I think, yeah. On the eyes. Let's crop it off. Let's keep the watch in the frame. It looks good, but not the purse. It's absolutely fine. Done. The image look kind of incomplete, but it looks good though. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it looks good because now the face is in the center, which should be the center of attraction. Otherwise, the sun in the left corner, left upper corner was taking up a lot of attraction. So yes, we are done with the image. I think I will adjust it a bit later also. Let's do it right off now. I think I should decrease the saturation by a little bit. 13 is good. Yeah, 13 is good. I'm still feeling that something is missing. Let's keep the vibrance at 23, 28. Yeah, this is pretty good. Yeah, this is pretty good. Now let's export this picture. We can do some minor adjustments in the photos editor also later, but never mind. This looks pretty good. Let's export this as usual. We are exporting it on PSD format, which is a big format. Save on images and export is complete. Thank you for watching another very long, very boring Photoshop tutorial. I hope I will make better ones, more interesting ones. And yeah, this is just the beginning, dude. A lot of things to come up soon. So bye bye. Take care, everybody. Everybody, yeah, what I'm talking about. There's like couple of handful of people watching this maybe till this point. And if you watched this till this point, like thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And like, comment, subscribe if you want to. Never mind. And bye bye. Thank you so much.